Tiffany. Tuesday morning and I'm watching Tiffany apply her skincare routine, which takes exactly 47 minutes and involves 19 different products that cost more than most people spend on groceries in a month. She's documenting the entire process for her Instagram story because her 890,000 followers need to see what authentic morning self-care looks like when you have unlimited access to luxury beauty products and zero understanding of actual biochemistry. This vitamin C serum is literally life-changing, she says to her phone camera while applying SkinCeuticals CE Ferulic that costs $169 for a tiny bottle. Like, I can actually see my skin glowing differently since I started using it 3 weeks ago. She cannot see her skin glowing differently. Vitamin C serum produces minimal visible effects that require months of consistent use to become noticeable, and even then the changes are subtle enough that they could be attributed to lighting conditions, hormonal fluctuations, or psychological placebo effects. But her followers don't understand basic dermatology any better than she does, so they'll spend money they don't have on products that promise transformation through chemical application. Tiffany Reynolds is 24 years old and represents everything wrong with American culture in 2025. She's a professional lifestyle performer who has monetized her physical appearance and social media presence into a 7-figure business that consists entirely of convincing other women to buy products she's never researched and adopt habits she doesn't actually practice. Her entire identity exists for audience consumption, which means she has no actual identity beyond what generates engagement metrics and brand partnership opportunities. "Baby, do you think I should do a collaboration with that new collagen supplement company?" she asks while applying some kind of peptide cream that claims to stimulate cellular regeneration through topical application. "They're offering 6 figures for a 3-month partnership, but I want to make sure it aligns with my values around clean beauty and wellness." Her values around clean beauty and wellness. She injects Botox every 4 months and gets chemical peels that literally burn off layers of skin, but she's concerned about whether collagen supplements align with her commitment to natural health optimization. The cognitive dissonance is so complete that it approaches performance art, except she's not performing for artistic effect, she's genuinely this stupid. I met Tiffany 18 months ago at a charity gala where she was taking selfies with the auction items while pretending to care about whatever cause was being supported that evening. She was wearing a Zimmermann dress that cost more than a teacher's monthly salary and posting Instagram stories about giving back to the community while bidding on vacation packages to places where local populations live in poverty that makes American homeless shelters look luxurious. She approached me during the cocktail hour because someone had told her I work in finance and she needed a boyfriend who could provide the lifestyle that her personal brand requires. Not consciously, of course. She thinks we have a genuine emotional connection based on shared interests in wellness optimization and aesthetic appreciation. But her interest in wellness consists entirely of buying expensive products that promise effortless improvement, and her aesthetic appreciation extends only to things that photograph well for social media documentation. "I'm thinking about expanding into more lifestyle content," she continues, moving on to some kind of eye cream that costs $200 and claims to reduce the appearance of fine lines that don't exist on her 24-year-old face. Like, maybe doing apartment tours and showing my morning routines and talking about mindfulness practices. Apartment tours. She wants to show her followers the penthouse that I pay for while pretending it represents the lifestyle that anyone can achieve through positive thinking and strategic consumption choices. Morning routines that consist entirely of applying expensive skincare products and taking photographs of expensive skincare products. Mindfulness practices that she learned from a meditation app and abandoned after 3 days when she realized that actual mindfulness requires sustained mental effort rather than just purchasing the right accessories. The truth is that Tiffany serves several important functions in my life and none of them involve genuine romantic connection or emotional intimacy. She provides regular sexual access without the complications of emotional investment or long-term commitment expectations. She enhances my social status by demonstrating my ability to attract and maintain relationships with women who other men find desirable. She offers social proof of normalcy and emotional stability to colleagues and clients who might otherwise question my psychological fitness for managing their financial resources. "Do you think I should start a podcast?" she asks, apparently expecting me to provide strategic advice about her media expansion plans. I feel like I have so much wisdom to share about living authentically and creating abundance through mindset shifts. Wisdom. She has wisdom about living authentically. This from someone whose entire existence is performed for strangers on the internet who know more about her daily routine than she knows about her own motivations and desires. Someone who thinks abundance is achieved through mindset shifts rather than understanding market dynamics and resource allocation principles. Someone who has never created actual value for anyone but thinks her lifestyle choices represent profound insights about human psychology and personal development. But I nod and tell her that a podcast sounds like a great idea because maintaining the relationship requires periodic validation of her professional delusions and creative aspirations. Plus, her success as an influencer actually benefits me by providing additional social proof of my ability to support someone else's career advancement and creative fulfillment, which enhances my reputation among people who might be useful for my own professional networking. What would be your focus? I ask, genuinely curious about what someone with no life experience, education, or expertise thinks they could teach other people about anything meaningful. I want to talk about wellness and self-development and female empowerment, she says, apparently unaware that these topics have been thoroughly covered by thousands of other influencers who also have no qualifications beyond photogenic appearance and social media engagement metrics. Like, how women can step into their power and create the life they want through intention setting and energy alignment. Energy alignment. She's going to teach other women about energy alignment. This probably involves some combination of crystals, sage burning, and positive affirmations that she learned from other influencers who learned from other influencers in an endless chain of intellectual degradation that eventually traces back to actual spiritual traditions that have been stripped of their cultural context and philosophical depth and repackaged as lifestyle accessories for wealthy white women. That sounds very meaningful, I tell her, which is technically true because it will be meaningful to her bank account and social media engagement metrics, even if it provides zero actual value to anyone stupid enough to take advice from someone whose primary qualification is being attractive enough to sell skincare products to teenagers. She finishes her skincare routine and moves on to her workout clothes, which consist of Lululemon leggings that cost $128 and a sports bra that cost $68. Everything she wears is designed to be photographed and posted to social media with brand tags and affiliate links that generate commission payments from her followers' purchases. She can't put on workout clothes without immediately converting the experience into content for audience consumption and revenue generation. I'm doing a Pilates class this morning and then meeting Madison for lunch at that new place in Soho, she says, referring to her best friend who is also a lifestyle influencer with a slightly smaller following and correspondingly less expensive taste in restaurants and clothing. Want to join us? Madison Walsh is another professional lifestyle performer who specializes in travel content and relationship advice despite being single for the past 2 years and having never traveled anywhere that wasn't paid for by brand partnerships or family money. She and Tiffany spend their time together comparing engagement metrics and discussing collaboration opportunities while pretending they have genuine friendship based on shared interests and emotional connection. I have meetings all day, I tell her, which is partially true because I have one actual meeting and several hours of market analysis and criminal activity planning that requires privacy and concentration. Okay, baby, she says, kissing me on the cheek while being careful not to disturb her makeup application. I'll see you tonight for dinner at Carbone. Don't forget we're meeting Trevor and his new girlfriend. Trevor Ashworth is another finance bro who works at Goldman Sachs and makes slightly less money than me, which means he has to work slightly harder to maintain the lifestyle that attracts the kind of women who date men in our income bracket. His new girlfriend is probably another aspiring influencer or failed actress who moved to New York to pursue dreams that were unrealistic when she was 18 and become more pathetic with each passing year. After Tiffany leaves for her Pilates class, I sit in the silence of my penthouse and think about how much I fucking hate everything about her personality, worldview, and existence. The constant need for external validation through social media engagement. The complete absence of intellectual curiosity about anything that can't be converted into content. The childlike belief that expensive products and positive thinking can solve complex problems that require actual knowledge and sustained effort. But I also appreciate her usefulness as a social accessory and sexual convenience. She photographs well at industry events and charity functions. She knows how to behave appropriately around my colleagues and clients. She doesn't ask challenging questions about my work or demand emotional intimacy that would interfere with my other priorities. She provides regular sex without the complications of genuine romantic attachment or long-term relationship expectations. Most importantly, she represents successful conquest of a woman that other men want but can't afford. Her Instagram following includes thousands of men who send her messages and comments hoping for attention that she'll never give them because she has access to someone who can provide the lifestyle that her personal brand requires. This creates a continuous stream of validation for my own desirability and status position relative to other men in our social environment. The relationship is perfectly transactional, which is the only kind of relationship that makes sense for someone with my psychological profile and professional obligations. She gets financial security and lifestyle enhancement. I get social proof and sexual access. Neither of us expects emotional fulfillment or authentic intimacy, though she probably thinks she wants those things because women are conditioned to believe that romantic relationships should provide psychological satisfaction rather than just practical benefits. Sometimes I imagine what would happen if she ever realized how much I despise her fundamental nature and everything she represents. If she understood that I think her career is parasitic and her worldview is intellectually bankrupt and her personality is so shallow that it barely qualifies as consciousness. If she knew that I spend our intimate moments imagining that I'm with other women or planning elaborate scenarios involving her complete psychological and physical destruction. But she'll never realize any of this because people like her lack the self-awareness and intellectual capacity to understand people like me. She thinks everyone operates from the same basic framework of emotional neediness and social validation seeking that motivates her own behavior. She can't conceive of someone who views other people as objects to be manipulated rather than individuals to be understood and appreciated. This blindness is what makes her useful and what makes her dangerous. Useful because it allows me to maintain the relationship without investing genuine emotional resources or revealing my actual psychological state. Dangerous because her complete inability to understand my motivations means she might accidentally interfere with my other activities through unpredictable behavior or poor decision-making. But the benefits outweigh the risks as long as I maintain appropriate boundaries and contingency plans. She enhances my social status and provides sexual convenience while requiring minimal emotional investment or long-term commitment. When the relationship stops serving these functions, I'll terminate it and find a replacement who offers similar benefits with fewer complications. Until then, I'll continue pretending to care about her skincare routines and career aspirations while internally planning my next market manipulation and thinking about which of her followers I'd like to destroy just for the intellectual challenge of ruining someone's life through carefully orchestrated psychological warfare. Because that's what people like her are for. Entertainment and utility. Nothing more, nothing less. The coffee machine finishes brewing my morning espresso and I check my phone to see overnight market movements and cryptocurrency fluctuations. Real information about actual reality rather than performed lifestyle content designed to generate engagement from people who mistake consumption for achievement. This is the difference between people like me and people like Tiffany. I understand that life is about accumulating power and resources through strategic manipulation of systems and individuals. She thinks life is about documenting experiences for social media validation and buying products that promise transformation through chemical application. One of us is correct about the fundamental nature of human existence. And it's not the person who thinks vitamin C serum is life-changing.